So let's check out a new cloud platform that I ran across. What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and today I wanted to show you guys a cloud platform that you can set up on your own server. And this thing is super cool. It's new to me. It may not be new in general, but this is my first time actually hearing about it. But it's actually called Casa OS, and to my understanding it's using the Spanish word casa. So you know, like casa es su casa, you know, my house is your house, however that goes. You know, that's where the name actually came from. So Home OS. Like I said, it's an awesome little platform. One thing about it though, it says that it's a personal cloud, and based on me playing around with it, it is a personal cloud, meaning one user. Unlike like Nextcloud or OwnCloud, you can set up and manage a whole bunch of users on that cloud, on those types of clouds. This cloud is specifically for, you know, one user. Unless there's a plugin or something that I don't know about, or some settings in there that I haven't found. It looks as though it's only for the user itself. So it kind of doesn't make sense to set up your own. I mean, it makes sense for like a home cloud, like really at your house. That's where the name comes from, but it's not like one of those cloud platforms you can set up, you know, on a server with multiple users and have all those features that you would, you know, see on like Nextcloud or OwnCloud or something like that. So let's hop over to the website and show you guys a little bit about it, and then I'll walk through how to install it, which is just one command. Super simple. You can skip to that part if you want to. It's just one command, but let's hop over there now. Before we move forward, I wanted to give a quick shout out to CIQ, the official partner of Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is a Linux distribution that is intended to be a downstream complete binary compatible release using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system source code. The project is led by Gregory Kurtzer, who was the founder of the CentOS project. So check out Rocky Linux at ciq.co. Alright, so the website address is casaos.io, and of course I always have the link down in the description of the video. But like I said, Casa OS, it says your home cloud OS, and so Casa means home, you know, in Spanish, so that's exactly what it is. So Home OS. It says it's a community-based open source software focused on delivering simple home cloud experience around Docker ecosystem. Yeah, and that's one cool thing about it. It's got like a whole bunch of apps that you can add to it. It leverages like Samba server, and it's a couple of other dependencies that it installs, like NetTools and different things, just to track your network connection and all that stuff with a lot of the little widgets that come on the actual server. But as you can see, you can it's a one command install. That's all you got to do is put it on there. But I just wanted to show you guys the website, you know, so you guys can see that's kind of what it looks like. Well, that's actually how it looks like. You can connect to it from your phone. It's got a whole bunch of apps, like I said, 50 plus community verified self-hosted apps, 20 pre-installed Docker based apps, so those are on there. You can run this thing on a Raspberry Pi. You can set up a server, you know, in the cloud and run this if you want to. But like I said, it doesn't have where you can add a whole bunch of users to it, at least based on what I've seen so far. But it's great as an easy to use cloud for someone that's just want to have something set up where they can have access to it anywhere. And then also just showing you guys, but they have a couple videos on here. You can go through those. And here is build your home data center. This kind of breaks down everything. So manage all your files in files, so that's already included. I'll show you guys that when we get it up and running. Share filed access, you know, across the network. Protect your family's privacy, because they have tools in there. They have home security type tools on there. Freely add disk and expand. Yeah, all those features are good for you. And then also, like the hardware, like I was saying, you can set it up on the Intel NUC, the Zimmer board, the Raspberry Pi. Also, more computers development boards with the following architecture. So AMD 64, ARM version 7, or ARM 64. And one thing, it is compatible with Ubuntu, Debian, Raspberry Pi, CentOS with one-liner installations. Not sure about your compatibility, you can check it out. Now, actually, let's go to the GitHub page for it. I actually have it open. So there we go. So this shows you the code right here. So if you want to, you know, contribute to the project, you can. It's hosted right here on GitHub. But this breaks down everything we just looked at on the website. I won't go through it all, but really what I wanted to focus on is the official supports. So it has been tested on Debian 11, so it's tested and recommended for Debian 11. But they've tested on Ubuntu 20.04. They tested on the Raspberry Pi OS. And then also the community support, it's been tested on Elementary, Orbian, Alpine. Well, that says not fully tested yet. OpenWRT not fully tested yet, and Arch Linux not fully tested yet. But one thing I did was it says Ubuntu server 20.04. Well, I actually ran it on 22.04, so hopefully it works on your system, you know, but it has been tested on 20.04. so if you want to set up a, you know, a virtual machine using 20.04, it's still supported, so you can run it on there as well. But I'm gonna run it on 22.04. I'm gonna install it on 22.04 because it worked for me, and hopefully it works for you. See, the only difference is hardware. You know, if your hardware is a little bit different. I'm running in a virtual machine, so I may not run into issues versus people that are installing it directly on hardware. So just be mindful of that following this tutorial. Now let's go down and hop over to my virtual machine so I can walk you guys through the install, which is, like I said, is one-liner. Let me go down and grab it so I can show you guys. So quick setup of Casa OS. So I'm gonna copy this. So I'm gonna just hit the copy button right here. That's all you got to do to install it. So just make sure you have wget on there. And actually, let's get over to our terminal so I can show you guys. But as you can see, I'm logged into my virtual machine. Well, you really can't see, but until I go up here. So yeah, Ubuntu 22.04. I'm connected to that server that I have on my network. And let's go down and like I said, you want to make sure you have wget on there, but all I did was paste that code, that line in there. And just to break down everything that it's doing, it's basically using the wget command, and it's downloading the script from casaos.os.io, and then it's running sudo bash. That'll go down and run that script and go through and get everything installed on your system. It's very simple. All the dependencies will be installed, you know, everything will be installed on your server to get this set up and running. And like I said, I'm running this on 22.04. So as far as I know, it works. It says it's not fully tested yet. It's only tested on 20.04, but it should work on 22.04 to be honest, in my opinion. So let's go down and press enter, and I'll let this thing go. And see, as you can see, it'll just start going through and installing everything. Like I said, it'll show you the necessary dependencies that it installs as it encounters going through the script. So you'll see all the dependencies that it installed. Like I said, it's a couple of them that'll install that's not installed on your system, like NetTools. That's one of them. So I'll be back when this finishes. As long as it doesn't error out, you shouldn't have any issues, but I'll be back when it finishes. All right, cool. So the installation is complete. It didn't take super long. As you can see, it goes through and shows you all the services that are running on the system. And one of the ones I wanted to point out is Orclone. It actually uses Orclone. I did a video on Orclone a while back. It's super cool. It's an easy application to use to manage clouds. So you can connect from your system to the cloud and sync information up there, or sync files, folders, you know, all that good stuff. And the application will be running in the background. As you can see, it gives you the link to the server. So whatever that IP address of that server is, that's what it'll use. It'll use port 80 as well. And then it says, you know, it just basically says open your browser to visit the above address. And then also, this is just information about Casa OS, the project, the team, the Discord, all that information. But one thing I wanted to point out is how to uninstall it. This is all you gotta do to uninstall it. just run this command right here. So Casa OS -uninstall, and that'll uninstall everything off your server. So if you want to revert it back or get rid of it, you know, that's all you got to do is run that. And of course it drops it back down to the command line. So server is up and running, it'll run in the background. So if you reboot the server, it'll come back up, you know, all that good stuff. All the services will start back up, they'll be enabled as you reboot the server. Now let's go up there and show you guys what it looks like. And I'll just copy this link, and let's go down and hop over to our browser and open it up. So let's open up a new tab, paste and go, and there we go. So if you set this up in a cloud, on a cloud platform like Google Cloud or AWS, or if you set it up on Azure or Linode or one of these cloud platforms, whatever, you want to go to it right away and create your account, because it's open up to the world at that point. Especially if you have it out there, somebody can, you know, scan those IP addresses and they'll find it, and if they go in and create the account before you do, they'll have access to the server. And the only thing you could do is go to the server locally and delete it and reinstall it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go through that. So I'm gonna create my username, KeepItTechie, and then let's go down and create us a password. Type it in twice, boom, and hit create. And so there we go, we are logging into our cloud. So right here, show the news feed. This will show the news feed from their blog. It'll sort of use some internet, you know, connection, meaning it'll use some of your services, you know what I'm saying, as this thing is running. If you have accept that, so I'm gonna accept it because it's a local server, meaning with the way you get charged on a lot of these cloud platforms is based on your network connection. So if you got a whole bunch of, you know, things connecting back and forth, you know, that could up the price on it, you know what I'm saying. I just want to make you guys aware of it. But as you can see, we're logged into it. Super dope, super clean, super simple. Got your date and time up here, system status, so that gives you, you know, information about the system. And if you hit this down arrow, right now it doesn't have any apps on there, so it's not showing anything, but it'll list your apps down here below, and you can look at the CPU and RAM usage of those apps. You got your storage information, network status right here. So this is my network connection, you know, just showing you everything. But if you go here to the widget settings, you can turn all this stuff off depending on what you want to see. So you can turn off the time. As you can see, it's all turned on. It's a little weird on the eyes because you can't really tell if it's on or off. They might want to put the background as green or something, that way, like for instance, I'm gonna turn off the network status. It should show like red or something right here, basically showing you what's on and off, you know what I'm saying. That's just a recommendation in the future, you know, for you guys or whatever that developed this. Now like I said, you can see all this, you know, you can see all that information there. You can search. Now one thing that you want to, you know, first look at is files, where to store your files. So if you hit open or file, that'll open up all your different locations you can store data. So they have a documents directory, downloads, gallery, media, you know, app data right there. And right now we at the data location, and then we have a root. This will show us the system. This is the system root directory. So you can go through here, look at your, you know, files that are on the system itself, which is super cool. And then those, you know, directories, so your documents, downloads, galleries, and nothing is up there obviously because I don't have anything. And then your boot directory, you can look at pretty much all your directories under the file little app. So file drop, shared, you can share certain directories, you know, so people can get access to certain stuff if you want to share stuff to people. Now sync your data. You can use SyncTheme, and that's one of the applications you can install. It puts it up here at the top for you because most people may want to use that, you know, so you can synchronize files between, you know, multiple devices. So that's super dope that that's up there at the top. Now smarten your home. So I think this may be like a blog post or something. So yeah, that'll open up the Discord. But yeah, you can search for your apps and things that you want to open up. But let's go into the App Store. And this will allow you to install all your apps. So you can create custom apps, but they also have a whole bunch of community apps in here. Home Assistant, ad guard, you could block, ads and trackers and throughout your whole network by using this as a DNS server if you want to. Jellyfin, so that's managing your media. You set one of those up. Photo Prism, Bazaar, and it's just showing the most popular ones up here. LiDAR, music collection manager, so super dope right there. And that's it on the featured apps. But down here, if you scroll down, you can install all this other stuff. So SyncThing, Nextcloud, Jellyfin, BitTorrent, AllTube Downloader, Pi-hole, Plex, Photo Prism, Calibre Web for reading books, transmission, pretty much all those things, all these open source tools that you may be interested in installing on your system. And then also community apps right here, so they got an open speed test right there. But that's pretty much all on the apps right there, just showing you guys. You can go up here to your account. You can make changes to your account if you need to. Just hit that. That'll allow you to change your name, change your password if you want to. Then there are some settings. So show the search bar. So that's what that search is for. It uses DuckDuckGo, so you can search the web. And then your language, you can modify that. You could also change the web UI port. So let's say you want to have access to this from outside of your network. And I know for me, I use Cox at the house, or I have Cox as my ISP. They block port 80 because they don't want people hosting websites from their house. So typically what I do, if I need to host something, I'll change the port to 8080. That way I can access it from outside my network. You know what I'm saying? And I can open up those ports on my Cox router so I can access it. You know what I'm saying? So you can change your ports right here. Now you can change the wallpapers. So they have, some cool wallpapers under here. You can upload stuff, customize it a little bit more. And I like Dorker themes. So just changing that Dorker theme, it makes it look a whole lot better to me. Now show news feeds for the blog. So you can turn that off. Show recommended apps, you can turn that off. Auto mount USB drive, so you can turn that off as well. Right now it's at the current latest version, which is 0.4.3, so you can update it from here. You could restore, shut down as well. And then one other cool thing about it, you can connect to this server via SSH. So I can type in my username, password, connect through port 22, which is SSH. That allow me to connect to it and open up the terminal session. Now right here is the logs, so you can check out the logs as they're going through here. You know what I'm saying? You can check that out. And before I close it out, I just want to go and install something on here so you guys can just see an application on here. So let's install transmission, just so you guys can see something being installed. So that'll be the username and password. That's fine. Press OK. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys what it does when it's installing and how you can see, what's actually happening. You can hit continue in the background, and it'll show you guys what's going on right there. So if we hit the down arrow, there we go. So transmission. So it kind of shows the application. So it's using 0%. But the rest of this is just the system period. So boom, and it's using 3.31 megabytes of RAM. And that's the same with all your, once you start adding more and more apps, you'll see what everything is using by just going down in there. I just want to show you guys that you can open up transmission. It gives you it gives you the username, so Casa OS, and then I think it's Casa OS as the password. Hit sign in, boom, there we go. So we got our transmission, and that's all running right here on this server. We just logged into it. You can add your little torrent files or whatever. You can watch everything and it'll download it to that server. So I'm gonna go down and close it. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go down and check out Casa OS. It's super cool. It's definitely worth checking out. It's an awesome little tool, that you can set up to have your own personal cloud. If you don't want to go through the trouble of setting up like Nextcloud or own cloud, then you can set one of these up. You ain't got to worry about users and all that stuff. This is all personal. It's all for the one user that you create on it. Now, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, make sure you leave comments down in the comments below. And if you set one of these up before, go down and give me your thoughts, or give a little bit about how you use your Casa OS at the house if you have one set up. I definitely would love to hear that down in the comment section as well. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and of course, keep it techie.